For the first few steps, it looked like the Olympic champion might be in trouble. The start wasn't clean, the field was closing, and for a moment in Oslo, Julian Alfred looked vulnerable. But then, something happened that should worry every woman in sprinting. Because once Alfred found her rhythm, the race was over. And the scary part, the massive time on the clock wasn't even the biggest story. Julian Alfred arrived at the Oslo Diamond League carrying enormous expectations. After all, this is the woman who changed the history of St. Lucia forever. In Paris, she stormed to Olympic gold in the 100 meters with a stunning 10.72, the first Olympic medal ever for her country. Then she added Olympic silver in the 200 meters. Since then, she hasn't just been another champion, she's become the athlete everyone is chasing, and in Oslo, she had another chance to prove why. The result looked impressive immediately. Alfred crossed the line first in 10.76 seconds. Amy Hunt of Great Britain finished second in 10.99. Zoe Hobbs of New Zealand took third in 11.03. But if you only look at the final result, you miss what really happened. Because Alfred didn't dominate from the gun. In fact, her start created a real problem. The 100 meters is brutal. There's no curve to settle into, no extra distance to recover. One mistake can cost everything. And for the opening moments of this race, Amy Hunt looked ready to capitalize. The Olympic champion wasn't fully in control. The pressure was real. But that's when Alfred showed why she's becoming one of the most dangerous sprinters in the world. She didn't panic. She didn't force the race. She stayed relaxed, stayed composed, and gradually began building speed meter by meter, step by step. The gap started disappearing. Then suddenly, the race belonged to her again. By the final meters, Alfred had completely taken control, not because she started perfectly, because she recovered perfectly. And that's what should scare her rivals. A perfect athlete is dangerous. But an athlete who can make mistakes and still win, that's even worse. Now let's talk about the time. Because when the clock flashed 10.76 seconds, fans immediately exploded. But there's an important detail. The race was wind-assisted. Track and field has a strict rule. For a sprint mark to be considered legal, the wind cannot exceed 2.0 meters per second. In Oslo, the wind was above that limit. So officially, the time won't count as a personal best. It won't count for record books, and it won't replace her Olympic-winning 10.72. But that doesn't mean the performance was meaningless. Far from it. The wind may have helped the clock, but it didn't choose the winner. It didn't fix her start. It didn't keep her calm under pressure. And it certainly didn't produce her closing speed. Every athlete in the race had the same wind. Only one athlete handled the race like a champion, Julian Alfred. And that's why Oslo matters. Not because of the number, because of what the race revealed. It showed her body is sharp. It showed her finishing speed is improving. And it showed that even after a shaky beginning, she can still find a way to win. That trend actually started before Oslo. Just days earlier in Rome, Alfred defeated Melissa Jefferson Wooden in the 200 meters. After that race, she talked about feeling stronger and healthier, about being able to push harder through the second half of races. Oslo looked exactly like that. The deeper the race went, the stronger she became. And that's a terrifying sign for the rest of the sprint world, because the biggest challenges are still ahead. Melissa Jefferson Wooden wants revenge. Sha'Carri Richardson remains a major threat. Gabby Thomas is waiting in the 200 meters, and Shericka Jackson is still one of the most dangerous women in track and field. The season's biggest battles haven't happened yet, but Oslo sent a message. Julian Alfred doesn't need a perfect race to beat you. She can start behind, she can make mistakes, she can face pressure, and she can still find a way to win. The 10.76 may come with an asterisk, but the warning it sent to the rest of women's sprinting was crystal clear. If Julian Alfred keeps finishing races like this, the rest of the world may be running out of time to stop her.